If you or someone you know registered for the H-1B visa lottery this year, stop everything and watch this video right now. USCIS has officially begun releasing FY 2027 H-1B lottery results, and thousands of applicants do not even know their status has already been updated. The results are not being mailed to you. There are no phone calls. If you are not checking the right portal, you could be missing your window entirely. In the next 8 minutes, I will tell you exactly how to check your status, what every status message means, what you must do if you are selected, and what your options are if you are not. Stay with me until the end. This could change everything for your immigration journey. Welcome back to Global Immigration Scope, your trusted source for clear, accurate, and up-to-date immigration news from around the world. Today, we are covering one of the most important immigration events of the entire year for skilled foreign workers in the United States: the release of the FY 2027 H1B cap lottery results, which impacts registrations made in early 2026. Everything in this video is based on official sources, including announcements and guidelines from U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, USCIS, the federal agency responsible for the H-1B program. We are not guessing. We are not speculating. We are giving you the facts so you can take action today. What happened? Here is the update. The H-1B registration window for fiscal year 2027 closed on March 19, 2026, at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Codem law that gave USCIS roughly 12 days to process registrations and run the selection algorithm. USCIS officially stated it intends to send FY 2027 H-1B cap selection notifications by March 31, 2026. Codem law: if you registered or your employer registered on your behalf, your status should already be visible right now in the myUSCIS online system. Why did this happen? The H-1B lottery happens every year because demand for these visas is far greater than supply. The annual H-1B cap is 85,000 visas. That is 65,000 under the regular cap, plus an additional 20,000 reserved exclusively for workers who hold a U.S. master's degree or higher. Bay Legal PC: every year, hundreds of thousands of skilled professionals from around the world, engineers, doctors, IT specialists, researchers, compete for those same 85,000 spots. When applications exceed that number, USCIS runs a lottery to decide who gets a chance to file. When does it take effect? The filing window opens April 1st, 2026, and closes no earlier than June 30th, 2026. The earliest possible employment start date on the petition is October 1st, 2026. Codem law. So if you are selected, your employer has from April 1st to roughly the end of June to submit your full petition. This is a strict deadline. Missing it means losing your selection entirely. Who is affected? This update affects anyone who submitted an H-1B registration for the FY 2027 cap season, meaning registrations submitted between March 4th and March 19th, 2026. These are roles that qualify as specialty occupations, positions that require a bachelor's degree or higher in a specific field. Tell us if that describes you. Keep watching. H-1B lottery results are available exclusively through the USCIS myUSCIS online account system at myaccount.uscis.gov. Migrate myUSCIS notifications are sent to the employer's or attorney's myUSCIS account, not directly to the worker. Codem law: this is a critical point many applicants miss. You personally may not be able to see your result directly unless your employer has granted you access. USCIS does not send email or mail notifications for lottery results. You have to check manually. Migrate Mate: so the action step here is simple. Contact your employer or immigration attorney today and ask them to check the USCIS portal. When your employer logs in, they will see one of 4 possible status labels. Let me explain each one. Selected: this is the news you have been waiting for. Your registration was chosen in the lottery, but selection is not approval. It is an invitation to file the full H-1B petition. Your employer has a 90-day window, typically starting from April 1st, 2026, to submit a comprehensive I-129 petition. Peter Chu submitted. This is the default status after your registration was successfully entered. It simply means you are in the pool. It is a neutral status indicating USCIS has received your entry and you are awaiting the selection process. Peter Chu, if it still shows submitted after March 31st, you are not selected in the first round, but you may still be selected in a future round. Not selected. This status typically shows up after all cap lottery selections have been made. It means USCIS has made all its selections for the fiscal year, and this registration was not selected. You are not eligible to file an H1B petition for this beneficiary in this round. Manifest law denied or invalidated. There was an issue with the registration, such as a duplicate registration or a payment failure. Bay Legal PC here is something very important that many applicants do not yet fully understand. This year's lottery operates under a brand new system. Starting with FY2027, USCIS has shifted to a wage-based weighted selection system that gives higher salary registrations better odds of selection. Migrate Mate. Candidates at the highest wage level, Level 4, receive 4 entries in the pool, while entry-level Level 1 candidates receive only 1. This replaces the equal probability random draw used for FI 2025 and FI 2026, and 3 major things changed simultaneously this season. A brand new wage-weighted lottery, a $100,000 supplemental fee imposed on consular processing petitions, and registration volume is expected to fall further after the fraud crackdown of previous years. Codem law, if you are selected, here is what happens next. Before filing the petition, the employer must obtain a Certified Labor Condition Application, or LCA, from the Department of Labor. The LCA must specify the offered wage at or above the prevailing wage for the job and location. USCIS will verify the LCA wage aligns with the wage level declared at registration. Discrepancies can trigger denial or revocation even after approval. Codem law standard processing times range from 3 to 6 months. Codem law, you can also pay for premium processing if you need a faster decision. Let's talk about what all of this really means on the ground. The FI 2026 lottery used a beneficiary-centric random selection system with approximately 344,000 eligible registrations and a roughly 35% selection rate. Migrate Mate, that means about 1 in 3 people who registered were selected, which is actually higher than in some previous years. Why the higher rate? Because total registrations have been falling. Registration volume already collapsed after the 2024 fraud crackdown and is expected to fall a further 30 to 40%. Codem law, this is significant because it means your odds of selection have improved compared to just 2 or 3 years ago. However, for the new FI 2027 wage-weighted system, if your employer registered you at a lower wage level, your selection odds were significantly lower than someone offered a higher salary. This is a structural shift that workers and employers need to plan for strategically in future years. For those not selected, the important message is do not give up. If USCIS does not receive enough petitions from the initial round, it may run additional lottery rounds. In past fiscal years, USCIS has conducted second and occasionally third selection rounds between July and October. You do not need to do anything to stay in the pool for a second round. Migrate Mate, and if you are ultimately not selected at all, alternatives include the O-1 visa for individuals with extraordinary ability, the L-1 visa for intracompany transfers, and the EB-2 national interest waiver for professionals whose work is deemed beneficial to the United States. Day 1 CPT, from an expert policy perspective, here is what we see on the horizon for H1B and U.S. immigration broadly. The shift to a wage-weighted lottery is the biggest structural change to the H1B program in decades. It fundamentally changes who has the best odds, and it rewards employers who offer higher salaries. Over time, this could reduce the number of entry-level H1B positions and concentrate visas among higher-paid, highly skilled professionals. The legal ground beneath all of these changes remains actively contested in 3 federal courts. Codem law, any one of those court cases could result in modifications, delays, or reversals of the new lottery rules. We will be watching those cases closely and will keep you updated here on Global Immigration Scope. Additionally, the overall decline in H1B registrations following USCIS's fraud crackdown has had a real, positive effect on selection rates for legitimate applicants. If this trend continues, we may see selection rates improve further in future fiscal years, potentially making the H1B pathway more accessible for qualified professionals. The key takeaway for the future: start your immigration planning earlier. Register at the right wage level. Work with a qualified immigration attorney. And keep monitoring USCIS updates, because this landscape changes fast. USCIS has officially released FY2027 H1B lottery results, with notifications going to employer and attorney accounts by March 31st, 2026. You need to check your status through the myUSCIS portal. Results are not mailed or emailed. Your status will show as selected, submitted, not selected, or denied. The new wage-weighted lottery means your salary level directly affects your odds, a major change from past years. If selected, your employer must file Form I-129 between April 1st and June 30th, 2026, with an October 1st employment start. And if you are not selected, additional lottery rounds may still occur, and alternative visa pathways remain available. The most important action you can take today is simple. Contact your employer or immigration attorney right now and ask them to check the USCIS myUSCIS portal. Do not wait. Your window is open, but it will not stay open forever. Thank you for watching Global Immigration Scope. Stay informed and subscribe for the latest immigration news and visa updates from around the world.